Save Game Review. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be reviewing some more of your save games. And this week, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the final batch of saves from the 1.35 version, because even though 1.36 has been out for a week or two or three now, I still wanted to give you guys, some time to get your campaigns up and running and to pretty much complete them before you submit your save games. So that's why this is the final review of 1.35 save games, and in the next video, we'll, get started with the 1.36 saves, which a lot of you have already submitted. Of course, first come, first serve. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But the campaigns we have for today are this Jarai to Siam Emperor of China campaign by Chieftain of Pirates. After that, we have a Timurids Mughals World Conquest by, this dude that I'm not going to try and say his name. And after that, we have a Muscovy Russia Learning campaign by Nami. This first campaign right here is actually the end date of the January 3rd, 1821. So, I think that's no, it's not the first end date we've had, right? Whatever. Either way, this one's almost at the 1700s, so almost revolutions and stuff like that, and this one is still in the early-ish part of the game, but I do think all three of these campaigns should be pretty fun. So let's jump into our first save game right here and kickstart our final batch before we jump into 136 save games. So Jarai, which is this nation right here, to Siam Emperor of China playthrough by Chieftain of Pirates on January 3rd, 1821. Let's jump in. Okay, so a little bit of an issue here. I actually couldn't get into that Jarai to Siam campaign because it's exactly on January 3rd, and the only thing that I have, to interact with is that end of game pop-up, and there's nothing I can do. If I click quit, it just kicks me out. So I guess we're not going to be reviewing that campaign. Instead, I've loaded up another 1.35 save here of Aragon Roman Empire Mare Nostrum by Golden Arrows, but either way, that's the last one. Let's jump into this Timurids to Mughals World campaign by Zaporapsky. All right, here we are into that Timurids into Mughals World campaign playthrough, and the year is 1696, and this is what the map is looking like. So World Conquest, honestly, seems pretty decent by this point. Maybe a bit slow for a Mughal campaign, but you definitely have time. But 20 years is plenty of time to conquer all of this as the Mughals, although, Europe hasn't really been touched, so, I guess we'll see. But, yeah, obviously this person, this campaign has been submitted a couple of months ago, but during this point, this person is in a war versus the Commonwealth in the... why is it in German? Why is it in German? Either way, let's not get too much into that. But war versus the Commonwealth and some other nations over here. The Ottomans seem to have blown up quite a while ago, so that's looking pretty interesting right there. And yeah, let's hope this player won this war. But jumping into the Great Powers list, obviously this player is number one, 6,700 dev, almost all institutions embraced. Obviously, in any world campaign save submission, unless it's like the first 50 years, you'd probably be number one, depending on who you started off with. Deccan is obviously a subject right here. Now, interestingly, it's 1700 and you still haven't conquered all of India. I'm gonna take away like half a point for that. But yeah, aside from that, things are looking pretty good. Let's jump into the court tab right here. 555 Shah Jahan III Timurid. That's really strong right there. Level 5 advisors, obviously, so excellent right there. In the government tab, obviously the Mughals can pretty much accept any culture as long as you conquer the entire culture, and then once you conquer the entire culture group, you get all of these awesome bonuses right here, some of which are unlocked, some of which aren't, but of course the Hindustani one is the most important, right off the bat. That's what you want to get done right at the start. So everything is looking pretty legit right here, nothing to complain about right there. Deccan is vassal, annexation has started, no real relations aside from the fact that he's allied to France, so not a lot to say over here for this, honestly. In the economy tab, income is excellent. Very nice income from trade, very nice income from production. Kind of low for tax, but you don't really care about tax at this point in the game. A couple of gold provinces actually which aren't developed, but listen, do they really need to be developed with 630 plus income per month? So yeah, everything looking pretty standard right here. Pretty good income from trade, about 50%. I'm not going to complain about that at all. Decent goods produced as well, 25%. Without the war exhaustion is 30, so that's pretty good right there. In the tech, 22 years ahead of time. Tech 24 in all categories. Like I said, all institutions embraced. And let's see, Aristo. That's a very interesting opener for a world conquest campaign, honestly. Influence after that, the second one is good. Humanist is great as well, sure. Quantity pretty, yeah, useful, I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't go for Aristo or Economic right here. I'd probably take Admin for my second one. You know, the classic world conquest opening for pretty much any nation, I would say, is Diplo Admin, Influence Humanist, or Influence Religious, or something like that. So you definitely want to get into those world conquest focused ideas. So especially this, the minus 20% province war score cost is super important, along with all the diplomats and diplo relations and improved relations to help you avoid coalitions. Speaking of coalitions, yeah, aggressive expansion isn't looking too bad. But yeah, I honestly, I don't know why Aristo is here. Someone let me know in the comments. I guess it's pretty good for the CAF combat, additional CAF combat bonuses that the Mughals get, but not really needed. I would do, you know, like I said, Diplo Admin, and then, you know, Humanist Influence or Influence Humanist after that. The other ones really don't matter. But, yeah, some weird idea group picks here. Not a lot to look through these missions right here. Not all of them are completed, but it's literally no big deal. In the decisions, we got some pretty good ones, I guess. You definitely want to activate this one right here, along with this one. You're annexing Deccan, so why not use that? And these two are pretty good as well, so definitely bump those up. Everything else is standard over here. A little bit over GovCap, but expected. Let's see what's stated, what's not. You haven't stated India, really? All right. Yeah, we'll get to that soon. Religious doesn't really matter with humanist ideas, so not a lot to say over here if you got humanist. In the military tab, awesome generals right here, pretty close to max force limit. Not really utilizing navies, but there's really no need to utilize navies. Morale, all of this is good right here. Nice combat modifiers as well. Yeah, so everything is pretty much in German, obviously, but yeah, everything is pretty much a trade company. So, you know, I don't really have anything negative to say. I would state India as well. Then you can trade company the rest, but not a lot of negative things to draw conclusions from here. Let's take a look at max absolutism. It's 109, technically 110. If you get rid of the integration policy, it's 120, so you could still run 4 privileges right here. 100% Crownland is awesome for sure, but yeah, you could definitely run a couple privileges here. Even though you got this absolutism, you still won't, you know, you can't go over 100, so a little bit of negative points on that. Aside from that, things are looking pretty good. Let's take a look at the armies right here. Army comp should be well, you got the pretty good cavalry, so I think it should be like, let me think here, I don't know, maybe 12 or 16 cav regiments. So I would do probably like honestly, I would do, for this combat width, I'd do like 25 infantry, 25 cavalry, 40 cannons or something like that. Yeah, army stacks are obviously great. You know, you're not using cav, even though you have such nice bonuses. Cav is good, by the way, boys. It's just expensive at the start. That's why people say it's not good, but it is really good. So yeah, I would definitely run cavalry. Army composition is excellent, but I'd still put in half cavalry right there with all of these awesome bonuses. So yeah, that's what those things are looking like. Honestly, I can say so far it's pretty legit. Lots of merchants transferring trade from everywhere to everything. Everything in that realm is great right there. Going into the government reforms, Indian Sultanate, there's the Mughal Diwan as well. Royal favoritism. Yeah, I don't really see the point in royal favoritism here, honestly, if I'm being honest. Expanded royal court or centralized would be way better. Curtail clerical, sure, it's great for the religious unity. We got the Mansabdari system right here, pretty good. We're good on that. Yeah, royal decree, excellent. The Zabt system is pretty good. War economy, 6 books of the Republic, regional representation, political absolutism. So yeah, aside from this one right here, I think all government reform picks are pretty good. Now, getting to the actual gist of the game, how slow is this for the 1700s, right? I'd say it's actually pretty slow. So I would probably own I could probably own all of this, you know, by yeah, it's definitely possible to own all of this by like 1550 as the Mughals in a really, really aggressive campaign. But yeah, I guess, you know, you don't really want to focus too much on this. These guys are pretty easy to take care of later on. This is, of course, a pain in the ass with all the transports and stuff like that. But by this point, you should really be pulling a lot more tentacles over in Europe, man. I don't know. You'd want to have pushed to like here and stuff like that. Definitely way faster for Africa. Sure, you don't care about the New World because you get everything transferred over when you conquer these guys. But I do think this is a little bit slow for a world conquest. I don't know if it was successful. Maybe I should look for an update by the guy that submitted the save. Did he do a world conquest? But, you know, there's about a 40k dev in EU4. And he's only at 7k, so, or was it 30 or was it 20? I really don't know, but yeah, as the Mughals you can be a lot faster than this, man, and definitely negative points for not conquering all of India yet. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna take away points on for this campaign. Let's take a look at autonomy right here. That should be pretty low. Yeah, as low as possible with all the, you know, trade companies and stuff like that. Now let's take a look at the buildings. So marketplaces, yeah, this is definitely the core of the country right here, which is what we're mainly interested in. So yeah, a lot more marketplaces can be built over here. Obviously, look at how many marketplaces can be built all the way to, well, pretty much every single province. But have they been upgraded to trade depots? Yeah, some of them have, some of them haven't. Stock exchanges, yeah, some of them have, some of them haven't. So yeah, pretty good on that. Town halls, a lot more town halls that can be built, dude. Look at this, man. It's like you got, you know, it's like this player got handed off a save as the Timurids or something like that, right? Since all the development and all the stuff has been going on over here in the States, but definitely build it up everywhere else, man. Even though they're trade companies or territories or whatever, yeah, negative points on the lack of town halls as well, for sure. Let's take a look at the workshops. Definitely need to build a lot more counting houses. Yeah, for sure, dude. Look at this, man. You know, you guys, even though it's a world conquest and at a certain point you stop caring about the economy, you really got to focus on this stuff early and mid game so you don't get to think about it in the late game. Now, sure, this is late game, but still, I would assume there'd be a lot more of this stuff going on. Churches, yeah, I guess not too relevant for this point in the campaign. Any training fields? Yeah, some of these. Yeah, it's still, all the development is in the States. Don't think you're not getting bonuses in the other stuff. Build stuff in trade companies and territories as well. Taking a look at manufactories, bunch in China, but yeah, so many can be built, man. If there was like a freaking marketplace over here, this would be like a ducat by now or something like that. So yeah, definitely negative points on the buildings, and really no need to trade company all of this, right? Eventually, you know, you're gonna want to move your trade node this way and this way and this way and this way. Yeah, I would make all of this states right here, the entirety of the Persia and India super regions, and then you can trade company stuff over here, but it's not even really necessary. So definitely negative points on the buildings, slight negative points for not using cav with all these modifiers. A little bit of negative points for this as well, and I do think this campaign is kind of slow. Let's take a look at the timeline as well right here with this speed. So there we go, Timurid Reich. Vassals still aren't integrated by the, yeah, there we go. So eating up a Jam, pushing a bit into Delhi. So really, there we go, there's Baluchistan gone, pushing into these guys. We got Kazakh and Sibir, presumably vassals. Yeah, there we go, feeding those guys back. There we go, Mughals have been formed. This is where you really want to start pushing into India. It seems that that is what's going on. There we go, subjects annex, pushing a little bit into this way as well. You know, the focus on these low dev provinces over here in this region is kind of not really, you know, optimal. It's not like I'm one to say about playing optimally, but yeah, look, there's wars lost to the Ottomans. Actually, that's definitely a setback right there. So yeah, definitely a lot faster expansion over in this region. You really want to wrap up Asia first as the Mughals, honestly, and then slowly tentacle into, you know, this area, this area, this area, this area. But that's very, very slow expansion. Look, I'm on the fastest one, and we're not really seeing a lot of growth right here. Years are passing. So yeah, there we go, getting the lost provinces back from the Timurids, fighting Vij, a pretty powerful Vij actually, pushing into China. I guess China blew up, yeah, annexing Russia and stuff like that. So yeah, it definitely started getting more aggressive in the, you know, closer to the time where we are, but definitely slow expansion. So what, I rated these out of 5, right? So yeah, I think out of 5, I think I'm gonna have to give this campaign, well, I don't know if it was successful. To me, honestly, it's not looking like it's gonna be successful, but hey, let's assume it was. So for that, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Let's move on to the next one. All right, let's get into our next save right here, a Muscovy to Russia learning campaign by Nami on January 1st, 1555. Since it's a learning campaign, I'm gonna try and not be so mean. All right, here we are in our little Muscovy to Russia campaign. We immediately start off in a war versus Nogai Akunlo Ajam Chagatai. Pretty annoying war, even though it's very easy. Wait, what are all these guys? They're just allies? Are they really just allies? Yeah, we'll take a look at... Wait, they're not just allies. A vassal? What is this? They are vassals. Okay, well, we'll get into it pretty soon. But yeah, for 1555, I guess for a new player, this is looking pretty decent, man. I have nothing to complain about over here. A lot of the Commonwealth has been chopped off. You know, usually by this point, you'd have gone this way a lot more. It's definitely possible to reach, you know, all of this in a normal playthrough by 1555. But yeah, for a newish campaign, this is looking pretty decent right here. Taking a look at the Great Powers list, we're number 2 on the Great Powers list behind the Ottomans. Pretty strong Ottomans this campaign. But yeah, it's looking pretty decent. Let's go over into this tab right here, running level 1 and 2 and 1 advisors. Okay, depending on the income, that might be pretty good. Decent rule right here in the government tab. Full modernization, that's pretty interesting. I don't really focus on this when playing these guys, if I'm being honest. But yeah, accepting cultures, this is pretty good right here. In the diplomacy tab, we have, let's see. So Gotland, Galicia, Volhynia, Kiev, Astrakhan, Polotsk, Uzbek, and Oirat as vassals. Now, I would understand Gotland maybe, even though they're here. Maybe this was a diplo vassalization, so Galicia, Volhynia, and Kiev, obviously, you know, release and reconquer their cores. Astrakhan, probably the same situation over here with the Great Horde. Polotsk, yeah, that's another release and reconquer. These are their cores over here, so everything got on that front. Now, Uzbek and Oirat, I really don't get. Oirat, sure, there are a lot of cores to reconquer, potentially. Maybe it was the same situation with Uzbek. They were really small, they vassalized them, reconquered their cores. So, yeah, these aren't very common vassals, but if the situation was release and reconquer cores, then I have no problems with that. No allies. Ideally, you'd want to get one ally over in Europe to help you out versus the Ottomans or the Commonwealth, but if it's not needed, it's not needed, so I don't have anything to say about that. Going over in the economy tab, and the economy, obviously, pretty expectedly, is pretty horrible right here. So, yeah, very little income from trade. I'm guessing this player hasn't picked up trade ideas, or maybe they have, judging by the merchants, but we'll get to that pretty soon. The gold mine over here has been developed, I'm assuming, to 10. Yes, it has. So good on that. But yeah, aside from that, income not very good, and we'll see why that is pretty soon. Lots of army maintenance. Armies are, yeah, way bigger than they need to be, I guess, preparing for this big war. But yeah, economy definitely in a dire situation. Not a lot of income from trade. Of course, during this point of the game, you wouldn't expect that for a playthrough such as this. And the tech department, up to date with all the institutions except for the printing press. You know, you'd probably get around to doing that after this war, I guess. And yeah, ahead of tech in every category. Trade religious. So yeah, this is my recommended opening for a Muscovite Russia campaign. So we'll see actually why we're losing so much money. You really should be making a decent income as Russia by this point if you're this big. So yeah, let's move on to the missions. You know, you could take this, I guess, saving the mission, because these are non-perma claims, just regular claims, so that's pretty smart right there. But aside from that, the other missions that are completed look pretty legit, so no complaints about that. Yeah, just one of the policies right here enacted, so that's all you can do by now. What's the tech, by the way? Tech 12? Yeah, advancing down Diplo, but you took it 2 techs ago and still haven't taken anything? Yeah, definitely need to be focusing on Dip right here. Where were we? Okay, good on GovCap, so good with rebellions, nice unrest. You definitely want to be converting a lot more. These guys are already converting. There's 3 missionaries available. Why aren't you converting? I'm guessing to save some money, but this is really negligible. Nice Patriarch Authority, good icon active. In the military tab, 27 combat width, so this would be like, I don't know, 27-4, 12 by this point of the game. 27-4-12. Yeah, if you split them, I guess it comes out to something like that, but they aren't really split, are they? No, actually, it's pretty good. The armies are looking pretty decent. Yeah, a little less cannons than I would think, but yeah, if these are together stacks, which I'm gonna assume they are, yeah, the armies are looking pretty good. If they're separate stacks like this is not a good stack right here, for example, but if you merge these two, they would be pretty decent. No real discipline. Pretty low morale too, actually. Yeah, you definitely want to pick yourself up some mill idea groups as well. But yeah, army not looking too good. Subjects we already talked about. Estates, pretty good privileges right here that I can see right off the bat. We got some of the peasant stuff, some of the Cossack things as well. So yeah, things are looking pretty okay here. All right, let's jump in and see why the economy is actually so bad. So what is stated? Actually, a pretty big portion is stated, man. A pretty big portion is stated. You know, I would sort of state some stuff down here too, but this is looking pretty legit right here. So autonomy has been lowered everywhere as well. I guess just you're running armies that are way too big. Yeah, that's way too big of an army for your current income. Yeah, spending 60 ducats on that while not having enough income. Yeah, what about the merchant setup right here? Let's see. Main trade node is Novgorod, Kiev to Novgorod. Okay, Kazan to Novgorod, Crimea to Kiev. Okay, and then Astrakhan to Crimea. You actually want to route Astrakhan to Kazan right here since you have 100% control. But, you know, everything is looking pretty good right here for the income. Why is it still low? I guess we have to jump into the buildings tab to see if that's the cause. So going into the marketplaces, yeah, definitely not a lot have been built. So you can put one down right here, right here, right here, right here. Let's take a look at if the centers of trade have been upgraded. No, they haven't. You definitely need more major control of the Baltic right here to make Novgorod your pretty much end node. nodes, so definitely a lack of marketplaces. Courthouses, not really over gov cap, but pretty soon you do want to start building courthouses as well, I guess. Let's take a look at the workshops. Oh, see, there's your problem. Way too little workshops, man. You definitely want to build them in all of these salt provinces, all of these copper and iron provinces as well. Look, there's so many of them. And even in the, you know, non-high trade good provinces that'll give you lots of income, for example, yeah, all of these fur ones right here until they tank the price of fur in the New World. Yeah, taking a look at churches, definitely a lack of churches as well. You pretty much want to build them in every province that gives you more than 0.1. So definitely about 20-ish churches that could be built right here. Army buildings, no army buildings either, even though manpower is pretty good. So yeah, definitely a lack of focus on buildings right here. This is one of the reasons that the income is actually so low. And actually, you're losing money because of the armies, but total income should definitely be higher than this at this point in the game. No trade companies either. Some players do like the trade company stuff over here as Russia. I personally don't do that. It really doesn't matter too much, I guess. But yeah, definitely a lack of focus on buildings, upgrading centers of trade. You want to get some lights to protect in the Baltic so you have more control over Novgorod, or protecting Novgorod as well. So yeah, buildings is really the problem right here. And you could be stating other stuff as well. So that's all I have to say about that right there. Let's go over into the government reforms. We got the Tsardom, obviously. We got this one, which is pretty good, a unique one. This is the unique one. It's also pretty good. Grant land to the monasteries, obviously the only choice as an Orthodox nation. Enlist the Streltsy. Sure, it's decent if you want to play with them. Royal Decree, you don't need it right now. You don't need Royal Decree. Absolutism hasn't spawned yet. You're pretty much not utilizing this at all. Definitely want to swap to Aristocratic Court because of the vassals, or yeah, Aristocratic Court because of the vassals. That's pretty much the only option you have right here. So a little negative points on that as well. But yeah, ideas are looking pretty good. Really, the only problem right here is the economy. Integrate these vassals stat. You know, you definitely want to state up a lot of things, a lot of other things over here. Gold mine is dubbed up. Really, the only major problem seem to be the buildings. And okay, so it's the Tech 12 guys, right? Offensive Eastern Musketeers. Who can we upgrade? Just the cannon. Okay, so I guess he just upgraded to the next tech. So that's pretty good. So yeah, pretty big war right here that should be won, honestly, but the main problem is the income. You definitely want to disband a lot of these guys after the war. Recoup, reconsolidate your country, and focus on building lots of other buildings. But aside from that, everything is looking pretty standard for a, you know, a newer player campaign. I guess money is the real problem right here, which you really mitigate by doing buildings. Focus on bring down inflation as well. Forts are good. Interest is okay. State maintenance. Do you have any unnecessary state edicts active, maybe? No, just these dev ones for 100 years. This is actually costing a lot more money than you would think, man. It's like triple. So if you go ahead and turn this off, you know, you're paying, well, I don't actually see how much you pay for the state. Yeah, you definitely want to turn these off after you stop developing. There's even a new pop-up right here, expensive edict. So, you know, focus on that. But yeah, that's how you look. With just turning those off, we're making 3 more ducats a month, boys. It's as simple as that. There we go. It went down by 3. So yeah, for sure, that was one of the problems right there. So yeah, shrink your armies, build more buildings. That's all I have to say about that. Let's take a look at the timeline as well. Starting off as Muscovy, of course. There we go. Expanding into Novgorod. Very, very simple. Very, very nice. We should look at the, yeah, Ryazan and Odoyevgan, annexing subjects. We should start, yeah, there we go. There's the push into the Great Horde. There's the push into Kazan right there. Below 0 only left to be annexed. Pushing into the Livonian Order. There's Astrakhan popped out. I guess Uzbek did shrink. Maybe this is where they vassalized them. Pretty early war with Poland, Lithuania right here. Galicia, Volhynia, Kiev, and Polotsk popped off. Yeah, Nogai, there we go. Nogai beating up Uzbek, reconquering some stuff for Astrakhan, snaking a little bit into these guys, forming Russia, and we're about to arrive at our date. Lots of time with no expansion. Well, a little expansion down here. That's pretty good. I guess no option to fight the Kalmar Union or anything like that. So yeah, man, expansion, even though it's slow-ish, you know, for a newer player, I'm not gonna knock them. Any ability to fight the Kalmar Union. Yeah, Denmark is not that strong. You could honestly definitely fight these guys. Commonwealth already beaten. No need to deal with the Ottomans now. They're huge. They got quantity quality, so you're going to have a hard time beating them. So yeah, definitely focus on expanding this way. As Russia, you do have the Russian colonization abilities, which you're not doing. So there we go. There's your Siberian frontiers right there. Make sure to do that. And yeah, even for a newer player, this is a decent campaign. If this was, you know, a regular player, I would give this campaign possibly a 2.5 or a 3. But since this is a newer player, I'm going to give this campaign a rating of 4. And with that, let's move on to the next one. And our final campaign of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this Aragon to Roman Empire Mare Nostrum campaign by Golden Arrows. Let's see if he was successful. All right, here we are in our little Aragon Roman Empire Mare Nostrum campaign, and the first thing I can notice is Germany, AI Germany, everyone. I guess you see something new every day. All right, well, Aragon, Spain, yeah, sure. Expected. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into this. Obviously, this campaign was a success, right? We can see that he owns all the coastal provinces in the Black Sea over here and in the Mediterranean. This is pretty much what you need to own for that achievement, even though I can't click it. But yeah, there we go. Great success already. Let's go into the great powers list right here. Almost 10k dev, twice as much as the next great power, which is Germany. They have some subjects or whatever, doesn't matter too much. But yeah, economic hegemon as well. The Timurids are a military hegemon. Would you look at that? Pretty big Timurids as well. I did forget to point that out. Everything is pretty standard right there. All right, let's jump into the gist of it. So there's Imperator Carlos IV de Castro running level 4 advisors. That's always what you want to see in the government tab. So many modifiers active, so many cultures promoted and accepted. Old Egyptian, right, it accepts the ancient cultures, everyone. Yeah, this is Roman, obviously it converts the Iberian ones. Let's take a look at the diplomacy allied to Sweden, England, the Livonians, and Brittany. Where is Brittany? Alrighty then, well, that's the diplomatic situation right there. Lots of subjects as well going, we'll jump into the subjects later on. And Finland is a junior partner. I wonder how that happened. Gotland, Hungary, and Cornwall are marches. And then, we got the colonies down here guaranteeing France and Muscovy. Maybe he went for the guarantee France and Muscovy achievement. Is there one like that? I think there was, but yeah, everything looking pretty legit right there. Nice, very nice income, if I do say so myself. Making about 3,500 ducats per month. Nice income from tax, by the way, 1,500 from production, lots from trade, obviously. Everything from the New World is being routed over here, and actually my game is lagging while I'm in this trade interface right here, or the economy tab, I should say. Only one gold mine in Mancia, I guess the one in La Mancha, devved up more than 10 for sure by this one. Okay, 11. That's not that bad right there. Tariffs, lots of income from tariffs as well. Not spending that much on armies. Yeah, surprisingly. Yeah. Oh, okay, but yeah, I have nothing to say about that. Diplo expenses, lots of subsidies to Livonia, lots of forts. Everything else aside from that is pretty legit, so I'm super satisfied with the economy setup. 60% income from trade, 110% goods produced. That is so nice to see. An awesome economic focused campaign. I love that. Western Tech 30, and everyone except for Mill, pretty much everything embraced and spawned right here. What else do you want me to say about that? Offensive influence, quality, admin, naval, trade, diplo, defensive. Weird idea group picks, honestly. Offensive influence, I don't know if that would be my opener for this, but listen, the goal is achieved. I don't really have anything to say about these. All of them, well, I guess except for naval. Maybe he needed it to beat England / Great Britain, of course, but all of these are pretty good picks. The order in which they're taken is kind of weird for me, but really good idea group picks as well. Missions right here, the Spanish ones, or whatever you want to call it, pretty much all of the complete. Nice policies right here. Yeah, very nice policies enacted. All of the nice bonuses right there in the stability and expansion. Not over GovCap either. Yes, that's what I want to see. Not over GovCap and an amazing economy. That's all that I ask for in these save game videos, 110% religious unity. Pretty much you got a Sikh province. Where's that Sikh province? Let me take a look. Right, some provinces over in India. I don't know what achievement they were going for. Roman Australia, everyone. Alrighty then, but this could, I was gonna say a world conquest, but it's pretty late for a world conquest. Yeah, you got so much religious unity, not even religious or humanist, which is a very, pro move right there, not taking either one of those and still not struggling with this, but everything's pretty legit right there. Almost 2 million max force limit. Yeah, like I said, pretty tiny armies for this run, but I guess you don't really need bigger ones. Massive morale, decent discipline, very nice combat modifiers, awesome generals. These are the subjects, so lots of, colonies right here. These are the colonies. Then we got lots of trade companies as well. Cattle and Guinea Trade Company. Yeah, I don't know where these are. I guess the African holdings, or yeah, a lot of this has been trade company. Yeah, pretty much this over here, which I would state all of the Balkans and Anatolia, if I'm being honest, but I have nothing bad to say about that. Everything is looking pretty legit right here. Still privileges active, while yeah, dude, 6 absolutism, you would say that sucks, but what do you need absolutism for? That's it. The goal is done. So once again, too much focus on absolutism for the community. Depending on what your goals are, you don't really need that much absolutism, or any, if I'm being honest. So nice policies, nice estate thingies granted over here. But yeah, merchant setups, I'm not even going to comment on that with this type of income. Let's see, the force limit is 40, so stacks would be like 50, 40, something like that. Yeah, 40, 20. Yeah, looking pretty legit right there. Even still Cav active, which is always nice to see. And yeah, nothing to complain about over there. All right, do we even need to look at the buildings with this kind of booming economy? Sure, we'll take a look at them right after the government reforms. We got the Roman Empire Tier 1 government reform. Super, super powerful. Curtail noble privileges. There we go. Consulate of the Sea, which is, it's an Aragonian one or whatever. But yeah. Cool pick, I guess. Maintain balance of power is decent as well. Tercio's active. You know, I guess they were Spain at a certain point. We got, what do we got right here? I guess we don't have anything right here. Doesn't matter. Dynastic administration, thalassocracy. That's not something you see very often, you know, proclaim thalassocracy and stuff like that. So very cool to see a super, super rare government reform right there. 2 treaties, regional representation, political absolutism. Weird that, which one? Where was it? The social contract, or no. Yeah, weird that the social contract isn't active. For heretic and heathen provinces, don't give any penalties when they, either way, don't give any penalties, of course, because, you know, they're trade companies, so why would they give any penalties? But if you don't want a trade company, then activate that government reform. So pretty good government reforms over here as well. Let's go into the buildings now. Marketplaces, boom, there we go. What do you want me to say about that? These are the only provinces they can be built in. Let's see, trade depots. Nope, no trade depots either. Let's see, stock exchanges. Everything is looking pretty good right here, built in all of the relevant provinces. Taking a look at town halls, pretty much everywhere. That's what you need to do right here. Taking a look at workshops, pretty much everywhere. Exactly what you want to see. Build them in every single province. You guys have no idea how important that is. There we go. Lots of churches and cathedrals as well. Super, super nice. Training fields active. Conscription centers. That's what's up. Dry docks too. Manufactories everywhere. Perfect. No complaints about these buildings at all. Autonomy lowered everywhere. That's how you get your economic game up to 3,500, even without colonies. You know what I'm saying? Even without the colonies. Awesome. Very cool. Very nice focus on the economy right here is really what I love to see on the governing capacity, on the armies as well. Papacy, not the curial control, by the way. Here's some negative points for you. You're not using these. There we go. Finally something to complain about this campaign. HRE irrelevant. No real relations with the HRE. What is this? Oh my god. We got the Senate right here. Yeah, pretty nice Senate right there. Emperor of China. I was expecting to see the Roman Empire here, but yeah, looking really good. Not a lot to complain about over there, man. Not a lot to complain about at all. Pretty much nothing. The only thing I could find to pick apart was not clicking these over here. Maybe you could have a bigger army too, but why? There's really no need for a bigger army when the goal is already accomplished. So yeah, you could even do a military hegemon or whatever. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't state company this either. Like I said, pretty good navies too. And I think that's really all I have to say about a campaign as successful as this. Some more things to nitpick about actually that I noticed right off the bat. So even though you did accomplish your achievement, negative points for not conquering the entire regions, which is what I would do. So yeah, negative points for not having all of Egypt and the Maghreb, and especially Britain, at least to Hadrian's Wall, bro. Come on, you know, doing this right here, just taking London and whatever the other province you need is cheap, very cheap. Go for it. Land over here in Kent and start conquering everything up north. But I'm just playing right there. I'm not gonna knock you for that. So yeah, little negative points for not, you know, non-clean borders, I would say. Maybe not conquering all of the lowlands either. Slight negative points for the Pope thingy, and slight negative points for the you know, land armies and stuff like that. But listen, I'm not really gonna take away anything. Let's take a look at the timeline here, starting off as Aragon. We'll go with very fast. Did we go with a no CB Byzantium opening? Can't really notice that. No, actually, no, just a standard opening. Byzantium is over here. Slow and steady expansion into the areas. There we go. There's Byzantium. Okay, expanding into the Mamluks. Regular areas right here. We got Spain formed already. Yeah, slow expansion around the Mediterranean, pushing equally in every direction. Growing Byzantium really large, surprisingly. But yeah, slow and steady expansion everywhere. There's Portugal gone as well. Ottomans getting beaten up. Major war versus France right here. Austria, pretty nice Austria right here. Look at what Austria is doing. Did they actually form Germany, dude? Yeah, I'm gonna be excited to see that. But yeah, focusing on the coastal provinces first is always super nice. There's Hungary. There's Germany. Austria did form Germany, funnily enough. And yeah, there we go. Pretty much only a couple provinces left in Italy and France. There's the Roman Empire, a little bit of expanding and stabilizing after that. A very nice campaign. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I'm gonna keep saying very nice until until I pause this recording. But even with all the negative things I said, all of them, there wasn't really any negative things. I'm just nitpicking here. But with all that said, I am definitely giving this campaign a 5 out of 5. And it's so refreshing to see an actual good one. No disrespect to those of you that suck. But yeah, we gotta see some funny campaigns as well. But yeah, that's about it for all the save games that we have today. So yeah, like I said, that's about it for today's save games, and that about wraps up our 1.35 saves. Even last video, you know, for this series, I told you guys to start posting 136 saves. The 135 saves that you guys posted won't be reviewed anymore. Let's get some fresh ones over here. And yeah, I have seen a lot of you guys have submitted already. As always, first come, first serve. Iron Man only. Do not submit more than one save. And you know, we'll try and get through as much as possible of those saves in this latest patch before obviously 137 rolls around in I don't know how many months from now. But yeah, 136 saves only. I'm expecting to see lots of BIS campaigns, lots of Mamlux campaigns, lots of Persia campaigns, and hopefully we'll have some good ones and some fun ones and some funny ones and some bad ones, as always, mixed up in there. But yeah, if you want to submit your save game, join the Discord and post it in the Save Games for Vid channel. Explain it, Iron Man only, one post per person, and first come, first serve. If you didn't post it first, well, it's gonna be a while before it gets reviewed. But that's all I have to say about that. Super fun save games that we went through today, and I'm excited to look at the 1.36 ones. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to leave a like. It really helps out a lot. And if you like the content and want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of them. And you can become a member today and join the Discord. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another EU4 video.